Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Allah is so merciful that He gives us a host of harbingers, predictions, many of which were voiced in the video. There are so many of them that it is simply impossible not to know that the time of the approaching doomsday is coming. But for what purpose did our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam want us to know that this time, if nothing could be changed, even now, as Dabat al-Ard is gaining more and more force, ravaging entire cities and islands, leaving ruins in its wake, it is very noticeable that the number of people who lost their lives is not yet that high. It is clearly not in the scale of the devastation that Dabat al-Ard is leaving behind. Even now, as the time of the doomsday draws even nearer, Allah continues to show His mercy and restrain the cataclysms. The floods in Pakistan in August and September 2022 killed more than 1,500 people, a huge number of lives lost. But the scale of the devastation is so appalling that the death toll is not proportionate to the damage caused. After all, a third of the country was underwater, and about 3 million homes were damaged or completely destroyed. 33 million people were forced to flee their homes. Category 5 Super Typhoon Nuro took about 40 lives in 4 countries. In the Philippines, where it hit hardest, 12 people died and 5 are missing, while nearly 60,000 homes were partially or totally destroyed, and it took just 6 hours to reach super typhoon status, leaving people with no time to prepare. Category 4 Hurricane Ian, Florida, left more than 150 people dead, and it is one of the most destructive hurricanes to hit the US mainland in history. A large number of powerful earthquakes with magnitudes over 5 occur far away from populated areas. However, they remain unnoticeable and do not result in loss of life. Many earthquakes still occur at very deep depths, which also reduces their destructive power. However, earthquakes are now becoming more widespread and more frequent, and they are starting to occur close to populated areas that have not previously been affected by earthquakes. Moreover, earthquakes are becoming shallower. They are more and more frequent at a depth of no more than 10 kilometers. This means that in the near future, earthquakes of lesser magnitudes will claim more and more lives, as they did in the deadliest earthquakes of 2022 in Afghanistan and Indonesia. Already, we can see that earthquakes of high magnitude are becoming more and more frequent. They are occurring in series over a short period of time. Scientists say that the number and power of earthquakes will only increase. In Quran, Surah 2, Al-Barak, Ayah 177 says, "Righteousness, it is not the turning your faces towards the east or the west, rather the righteous are those who believe in Allah, the last day." The number of victims of climate disasters in 2022 alone is in the thousands. Tens of millions of people have been displaced from their homes. But the last day, described to us by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself, means that the complete cessation of our existence as humanity, and that is 8 billion people. The beast from the earth is increasingly showing its ferocity. Yet, even in such a difficult time, the merciful Allah shows His love for us, still restraining Him, so that we, the Muslims, may remember the harbingers of the last days, unite to find a solution, and have time to build the world that our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam dreamt of, where nothing would threaten any human life any longer. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam hoped that there would be enough of faithful and devoted people among Muslims who would make the right decisions in the last days of this world, to stop serving Iblis, kick out Shaitan, and look honestly into each other's eyes and restore the Quran, restore the truth and restore Islam throughout the world, to save this world. So far, Dabat al-Ard has been taking mainly material possessions, as if to remind us of their emptiness. but its appetite grows by the day. Floods and earthquakes may destroy mosques and temporary structures, but they are the association of people who are faithful and serve Allah. It is only up to our choice whether we continue to stand idly by and follow Shaitan, or respond with sincere love and the greatest of the prophets, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and build a world that Allah Himself will rejoice in. Dear brothers and sisters, be true followers of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and join in spreading this conference so that all people would know the truth.